Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. So if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find the content useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape or form, or you just want to give this channel some like love. I really do appreciate it. So in a moment, we're going to discuss asexual dating difficulties and how to stay strong when you're feeling sad. Yes, you've guessed it. I'm sharing my own asexual life journey in order to help you in your own. So I'll be discussing those dating difficulties in a moment. But if you don't know who I am Sandra Bowman, author of this wonderful asexual book called Asexual Perspectives, 47 asexual stories, real life stories that is, love, life and sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com, the founder of Asexualise Academy, and I published this awesome fibromyalgia self-help handbook last year too. So let's crack on with the show then. So you might have noticed I'm a little bit late streaming, and that was because I was in the middle of a conversation with some asexual guys. And I don't know if you use a thing called ASAP. I have mentioned it before on this channel. So ASAP is a dating app for asexuals. So if you look at my phone, sorry, I live near a train station. That's a train noise. So if you look down here, this little cake here, I don't know if you can see that, is a cake. That is ASAP, right? Now ASAP has had 2 updates in the last like 7 days. And so they have in some ways improved it, but a lot of people have found it, well, I found it hard to get back in because I couldn't remember my password, and my best asexual friend, they found it really difficult to get back into their own account because they couldn't remember their password, and you know, we didn't know there was an update coming. But the actual, when you go into the actual thing, you know, it is a lot more professional in terms of the layout, right? It's I don't know if I can kind of show you, but the layout in general is just a lot, you know, like it's a lot. I don't really want to show you all the people as such. I won't show you close-ups, but it's basically it's a lot better layout in a lot of ways. And when you can actually get into it, it is quite good. Now, one of the other things I found that's really good is I'm getting more guys that I'm interested in messaging me and conversing with me, and I'm finding more guys. So I like younger foreign guys, as you might know, and there's more younger foreign guys in their 20s that have been messaging me. Well, there's 2 guys, and then there's one from the UK as well, who's messaged me. I think the UK one just wants to be my friend, but the other 2 foreign guys, one of them is Indian. And you know, you know, I think it's really nice because we get on really well, we hit off straight away. But obviously, you know, I do believe I have a soulmate who's Indian, and it's very difficult when a guy comes into my life and I get on really, really well with the person in chat, and they are Indian and they're in the age group I like, and they are aesthetically beautiful, and they're doing, you know, got interests like me, like the same sort of relationship as me, but they're not my guy, right? They're not in this country. They love traveling, so that's something we don't have in common. And you know, they smoke and drink as well. I can't be with a smoker. But they're really, really lovely person, lovely to talk to. But it's just very difficult for me because it's a bit painful sometimes. I like talking to them in some ways, but it's also very painful because it's like I want to be with the asexual Indian guy that I think I'm meant to be with. So I find that very, very difficult. And they're very, very sad, actually. You know, it's the only thing that really majorly upsets me most of the time is that I'm not with my asexual Indian soulmate who I've known I have since 2014. It's not that I don't, you know, give any other guys a chance or not interested in other guys, but I really think I'm meant to be with an Indian guy. However, there is another guy that started talking to me on there. I have to let you know, the Indian guy started talking to me first, and so did this other guy. Now, this other guy, he is in Argentina. But he's heteromantic demisexual. I'm not, obviously. Thanks for the thumbs up, but I'm not demisexual. But there's this other guy. You took the thumbs off. Thank you. Put it back on. Is that because I said there was another guy? Really, I'm meant to be with an Indian guy. Yeah, they take it off. They take it on where it's like Indian guy, Indian guy. Oh, bless you. I guess an Indian guy's watching this. Hello, Mr. Indian guy, whoever you are. Lots of love. But yeah, so there was another guy talking to me on there who's from Europe. But you know, he said in the message that I'm pretty, which was really, really nice. You are very pretty, which I did think was really, really nice of him. But then, you know, it's kind of like he said about, do you want to have a date with me? And I thought he was interested in having a date with me. And I'm like, well, thanks for asking for a date, but unless you plan to visit the UK, like, how would this happen? Eddie, someone who's playing with the damn thumbs up when I thumbs up. Oh, yeah, they shouldn't be able to do that. That's not very good. They shouldn't be able to do that. That's very strange. That's very strange, Eddie. I'm sorry about that. Messing with me. How can they change your thumbs up? That's really, really weird. There is some strange stuff going on with YouTube lately, though. That is very, very weird. So this guy, right? This guy is from Argentina. He's not. I've got problems as well, which I'm with PlusNet in my Wi-Fi, and BT keeps trying to connect with me. I wish these cowards would face me. Unable to connect chat. Please try again later. Yeah, that's really weird. So I don't know what's going on, but it says unable to connect chat. Please try again later. And I don't know why that's happening. Can I still type in here? I can still type hi. That's very strange. I don't know what's going on. There's technical difficulties, obviously, and I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I'm really sorry, Eddie. It's out of my control, unfortunately. I know there's a message come up saying unable to connect to chat. Please try again later. I don't know who's doing that. Anyway, I will carry on with my conversation. So, ASAP's had 2 updates, and I was saying that it's been difficult to get into the account. My best friend's had a few issues with that. Well, quite more than me. They still have had problems, and they want to delete their old account. Came up, which they thought they'd deleted. So, and it hasn't. So they're trying to get it deleted. They have emailed the team. So basically, since the update, I've found that I'm getting more guys come up who I can flick through, who I'm more interested in, like more foreign guys, the type of look that I would like, you know, that type of thing, which is really, really, really good. And, you know, I've got more guys messaging me that are actually more my type of guys, you know, younger guys in their 20s. So this one's from Argentina. But he said to me, because I was asking like what ethnicity is, because he's studying Asian literature, and I thought, well, maybe he's got an Indian type of like background or something, but he hasn't. He said he's Argentinian and Arabian. But yeah, so then he said, why do you ask? Do you want to have a date with me? And I'm like, well, thanks for asking me for a date, but unless you plan to visit the UK, how would that happen? He's like, oh, I understand, but I'm quite with just a little bit coloured, because I said I like coloured guys. And he said, I have asked just because you tell me that I'm pretty, you asked me where I was born. Well, he said I was pretty, but I said he looked good too. And I'm like, oh, okay. But he's like, but I would like to have a date with you. You're very pretty. And then he says, I'm coming to Europe next year. What do you think? Well, obviously, when people say stuff like this, it's usually what you just want to hear. So you have to understand that when someone comes online, they don't really know you, especially when, you know, the chat is still kind of like very new. Like I said that I met an Indian guy in here. Well, we just hit it off and we talk like flowing conversation already. And, you know, it's very easy. But with this guy, it's not been too bad either, but it's not at that stage yet, right? You know, and I said, what are your career plans for the next years? He goes, I would do a doctorate in London, I think. So basically, as far as I understand, he's just trying to tell me what I want to hear, you know, because obviously I live in the UK, London's in the UK. And he was on about, And I said, you know, I like the idea, because when he said, I'm coming to Europe next year, what do you think? I said, I think the idea is nice. However, I would have to get to know you a lot more before meeting up in person. We would have to connect on Facebook, do video chat, and get to know each other first. And they said, that you wish, lady. Do you think that my English is fine? And I said, well, I prefer to be called Sandra or Miss than Lady. Sandra's my actual name, you know. But I wanted to ask him what his career plans are, because there's absolutely no point in me even being interested in that way if he's staying in his country. So, and I said, oh, wow, whereabouts in London, you see? And then he never answered me. So either he's got busy or he doesn't actually know, because he's just made that up because he's interested in me. Do you see what I'm saying? So you've got to be very, very careful when you're chatting to these people online, that they're not just saying what they think you want to hear, you know. And that you know, so this is one of the difficulties. Not only do you meet different people online, I've said before, never ever meet up with someone who you haven't video chatted with first. Is very, very important for safety. And be very aware also that these people can tell you what they want to hear, what they want to hear, what they think you want to hear. Because if they're really, really attracted to you, then people kind of do weird things when they're attracted to people. You know, they can kind of like say things they don't really mean, act in a certain way that they don't really, you know, that they're not really congruent with, and do that, you know, and this type of stuff. So that's what makes asexual dating more difficult, is not only do we live hugely apart as well, you know. So it's really difficult, because I like foreign guys. Most of the foreign guys that like me as well, they're not in the UK, you know. So it's really, really difficult. I do still talk to some British guys, so I don't just talk to foreign guys. But I find foreign guys actually keep the conversation going longer overall than British guys, probably because I'm really much more into foreign guys. So, you know, I don't just speak to foreign guys, but you know, it is difficult, you know. And the thing is how do you stay strong when you've got so many difficulties? You know, the distance between you, you know, the different countries that everyone lives in, you know, trying to get someone to actually reply to you, trying to get a conversation going with you, you know, trying to maintain and sustain some sort of conversation over a long period of time, trying to get to know someone if you live far away. Obviously, you know, staying strong is what it takes. So basically, you know, when one of the ways to stay strong is to understand that everything that comes in life your way is to make you stronger. That although it might hurt and be painful now, these things make us stronger, and eventually we will find the right person for us if we want to be in a relationship. Or it's meant to be that we are meant to be single because we are better on our own. So everything happens for a reason, and that's one of the things you've got to remember to stay strong. Everything happens for a reason. Like, it does upset me when I speak to an Indian guy. I got on so well with him, like straight away we really hit it off, and he's in a completely different country, and then he wants to go traveling, so he's no suitable for me anyway. But, you know, it's very difficult when you get on well with someone like that and hit it off straight away, you know, because it does pull at the heartstrings, you know. I'm thinking, I want to talk to my soulmate right now, you know, and I don't. He asked me if I was lonely, and I don't get lonely, even though I live on my own, but I do miss my soulmate, you know. It's very upsetting, you know, when you know that you're meant to be with someone and you can't be with them. So it is tough, it is hard. All you have to do is focus on other aspects of your life, so that when that person does show up in your life, then you are a more better person for yourself, and consequentially for them too. So it means, like, you know, actually, you know, going forward in your life and pursuing your goals, ambitions, hobbies and dreams, pursuing your career, having wonderful friends. You know, having wonderful asexual friends does make all the difference. Like Wednesday through till Thursday, I was Skyping my best asexual friend Sam, and it was incredible. We Skyped for like 11 hours, but the time really flew by. And you know, and having really close knit friends around you really does help you to stay strong. So I'd urge you, even if you haven't found someone to be in a relationship with, if you're looking to date and be in a relationship with someone, I'd urge you to, you know, to get some good friends around that you can rely on, that you can trust, that you can talk to regularly, that's kind of like, you look out for each other, you have each other's backs, as it were, and, you know, who are really there for each other, because it does help you to stay strong. It helps you to stay strong. So one way of staying strong, like I've just said, is literally think everything happens for a reason. And these testing times, all these things that don't go right to find a relationship, they do actually make us stronger in character. They make us stronger as a person. So that is the positive thing. Number two is get yourself some friends, some kind of support network, so you don't feel so alone, so that you feel like you've got some love, even if it's not in the relationship sense, it's friendship love, which is equally important in a non-romantic way. Or obviously, you might be in a queer platonic relationship, so but it's it's a different type of love, but it's still equally valid, and it's amazing because, to be honest, friendship tends to stay for life. Sometimes relationships don't. So actually friendship love and being friends with someone is more powerful in that way. When years ago I used to think the opposite. I used to be the type of person, not anymore, but I used to be the type of person that's like, oh, when I'm in a relationship, it's kind of like they're the bee's knees, they're everything to me, blah blah blah. And I did have friends years ago, but then I got with a guy who wouldn't let me have any friends, and then the only real friends I had just went, which wasn't good. They could have friends, but I couldn't, so that was very difficult. And that's another thing, although I feel sad sometimes, is also the positives. Number three is looking at the positives, is that you haven't got into a relationship for the wrong reasons with a person. Because when we're feeling sad or lonely or lost, or like we want some affection, romantic or more intimate than a friendship, then we can have a habit of, kind of latching on to someone because we haven't got anyone else around, and making that person our person, and they aren't our person. So it's very important to praise yourself that however difficult it is in life, that you haven't been able to get the relationship you want yet, is the fact that you haven't lowered your standards and just taken anyone on because the feeling of loneliness or uncertainty about getting with someone else, or pain or heartache is too much to bear. You've actually standing in your essence, as it were. You are saying, yes, I'm in pain right now and sadness because I haven't found the right person for me yet. I am asexual. I do require love without sex if you're an asexual that doesn't like sex. And I know that to meet and find the right person for me is going to be harder, but I won't accept second best. I won't be with someone who requires me to do things that I don't want to do, that make me uncomfortable, just to keep the relationship. I won't be with someone who's just filling a void. I won't be with someone because I'm lonely and not in a relationship. I won't be with someone just for the sake of it. I won't be with someone because I'm so scared I won't get the right one. And really, truly, I know this person's the wrong one for me. Do you know what I mean? It's much better to, however heartache and heartbreak you may feel, that you haven't got your special someone. Especially if you're a hugely romantic person like I am, I really get you and I feel you. You have to praise yourself for staying strong as a single person and not taking someone on as in a relationship that's the wrong person for you. I was in relationships for years that were no good for me. It wasted in some ways a lot of time, but I grew strong through those experiences. But there were experiences I'd rather not have and wish on no one because they weren't good experiences. But I believe every experience makes you stronger. And now I won't accept people or a person or guy that doesn't live. When I say people, person, it's actually one guy I want in a relationship. But even in friendships, I have higher standards with friendships now. And I have friends that have higher standards for their friends. So me and my friends have high standards for each other. You know what I mean? It's really, really important. And it's very important that maintain a standard. You don't drop these standards. You don't stop being the beautiful flower you were born to be, being beautiful you. And the fourth, obviously, when you're single, there's a lot of things you can do that you can't actually do in a relationship. You can go where you want when you want. You don't have to message someone, I'm going out now, or darling, I'm going to be back at this time of night. You know what I mean? Obviously, at the moment, when I'm calling this live in June 2020, you can't just go anywhere because we've got social distancing going on. But, as a general, when things are more normal, or and even in these circumstances, we still go out food shopping, don't we? Well, I do. So I can go out food shopping when I want. I can go in the early morning, or usually I go late at night. Like I go about 9 at night or something. Like if I've got a person in a relationship, they might be trying to see me that time, and I don't. I usually like working through the night, so it's actually like better for me in some ways to be single. And that's what I would say. The fifth is, to acknowledge all the good things about being single. Because when you think of all the good things about being single, my gosh, does it feel good. My gosh, does it feel good. I think we're on number 5. Are we on 4 or 5? of how to be stronger. I said 5, but I'm questioning myself now. But anyway, staying strong is, recognizing all the good qualities about being single. Like I said, about the times you go in and out, you can do what you please. You can actually excel a lot quicker, or more advance in your career, because you are your own entity, you're your own being. You can be who you want, and you can just do what you want when you want, and you have all the space and time and energy allocated to you. Relationships do take a lot of work, they do take a lot of energy, and so some of the time it can drain you of energy. It can make you less vibrant, less energetic, more tired, less productive, because you've only got a certain amount of energy. To a certain extent, obviously, we generate our own energy. It doesn't come naturally, which loads of people think, oh, energy is just supposed to come to me. It's like, no, you have to generate and create your own energy in life, just like happiness, right? Which probably you didn't know, but you do now. So generate your energy, generate your happiness. But obviously, if you're with someone else and you give a lot of time and attention to them, then it does take some of your energy up. A lot of energy sometimes. So there's a lot of benefits to being single. You write your own rules in life. You live by your own rules. You can go to bed when you want. You can do what you want. You can live as you want. You can breathe and be as you want. You can, do what you want when you want, within the guidelines at the moment, obviously, of what's going on in the main world, But do you know what I mean? There's a lot more freedom. So my advice to you is, while you're single, enjoy your singledom. Because one day you probably won't be single, and then you'll be like, you could be thinking, oh, I want to be single again because I didn't live my single life to the max. So it's best to max out your single life. Like, live life to the max while you're single. Do everything you can to enjoy your single life. So when you get into a relationship, you're kind of like ready for it more. You're ready for it. Like, I know you might think you're ready for it now, and you might think you're in pain and upset. And I get it, because I feel a bit like that myself, when I've connected, like I said, with this beautiful Indian guy recently, who I seem to get on really well with straight away, and have lovely conversations with. It does sadden me, because I'm like, why can't this be the guy? He's clearly not. Why can't this be the guy? Why can't the guy show up? Why can't my actual guy show up over here? And it does make me sad, and it is hard for me. But at the end of the day, I've got to remember that I've got a lot of things to do in my single life, that I'm better off actually being single while I'm trying to achieve all this stuff. A lot of guys, traditionally, they take care of their career first, and then they kind of think about marriage and kids. Obviously, if you're asexual, probably don't think so much about kids, but you tend to think about more of the practical things, like the career and stuff, before you actually, think about family and wife, or being with someone in a partnership. But even if you're female, like, and even if you're single, choose whatever gender you are. That's your opportunity, your big opportunity to put your career first, to go and develop yourself as a person. If you want to do a job that requires traveling, for example, then you, under normal circumstances, not the V circumstances at the moment, you can go and do that. Obviously not at the moment, with socialization and all the rest of it going on. But there's a great flexibility to be able to move, if you want to. So you have to understand that there is a lot of ways you can remain strong, and you just got to think, okay, it's not my time right now. I'm meant to be single, and what really helps me sometimes is literally listing all the things, instead of thinking of all the things like, instead of constantly thinking, oh, I haven't got my soulmate, which does pop up quite a lot. I miss him every day usually. But instead of thinking about that, I just focus on, I'm happy being single. I'm learning so many new skills. I'm really developing and growing myself at the moment. In terms of food budget, I don't have to worry about anyone else. In terms of like all my household bills and my rent and everything, that's all my own control. I don't have to rely on anyone else. And I tend to like work through the night usually and go to sleep in the day. So that's no problem because I don't have to meet someone, or virtually or otherwise. Obviously we can't just meet people totally at the moment because of social distancing and stuff. But I'm saying there's a lot of benefits to being single. There's a lot of advantages. There's a lot of things you can do that it's harder to do when you're in a relationship. So I say, max out your single life, live life to actually max, party if you want to when you can party. You can't party at the moment, obviously, clubs are shut. But you can have your own party in your home. So what I've been doing is I've been, not today because I've been busy in reading, learning new skills, which I've had to concentrate on reading, but other times I'm like playing Latin music, and I've got my lights over, like laser lights over there, and I've got laser lights over there going on, and all my rooms like one big party, and I'm having a party every day, and just imagine if I was with someone else in this flat and they like want to watch TV and I hate TV, I'd be bored. I'd be like, no, go to your own place, because I don't want to sit there being bored. I want to have a party every day of my life. I want to learn new skills. I want to develop and grow myself into a better person. So sometimes being in a relationship can hold you back. And I would advise you strongly to look out for someone who's not going to hold you back, who's actually going to praise you for getting on in your career, who's actually going to support you, not just you support them, but obviously mutually support each other. Someone who's going to, not just love you in emotional sense, but love you as in the development and growth of you. But, make sure you develop and grow yourself into the best person for you, and then that will naturally filter through to a future relationship. And then you'll be like, oh, now I know I had to do all those improvements and skills and stuff, because there might be something that I've not done yet, some skills I need to learn, and that might be how I meet my future guy. Like I'm probably likely to meet my future guy at a business seminar, to be honest. So the more stuff I do to do with business, the more likely I am going to meet him, actually. So it's all very interesting. That's how you have to try and look at it as an acquisitive thing. Like, okay, I haven't met this person yet, so why is that? There must be some reason, and try and question it in a good way. Like, what's the positives I can get from this? Which is much like why it's so good that you're single, but think about all the reasons why it's good to be single, and also what's the relevancy list. Why now am I not getting this person? What else do I need to do in my life to make it better, to make me better? It's like I've said before, I'm not in the financial career position that I want to be in, really, to have a successful relationship anyway. So some people can do online distance relationships, but I wouldn't recommend that overall, because unless you know for definite the person can come over here, or in my case here, or to your country, and they can get a visa of their own accord without marriage, because you don't want to be getting married to someone you don't even know, or even if you think you know them online, you don't know them until you meet them in person. You've got to spend some time in person with each other as well, right? So, I personally don't do long distance relationships because it wouldn't work for me. I need in person, cuddling, kissing, holding hands, but some people do make them work. But you have to have goals. You have to set goals of when you're actually going to meet up in person. And you need to ask all the questions at the beginning, like, what's your plans for next year? So if the plans to say they're going to fly around the whole country or whatever, fly around the world, which the Indian guy wants to basically do when I start talking to him, that's no good for me if I don't want to go traveling. Do you know what I mean? And so it's very, very important that, when you do meet someone, you ask all the tough questions at the beginning, like, do you want kids? Do you want marriage? What's your plans for the future? All this type of thing. So basically you don't waste your time and they don't waste theirs. Because like I always say, if you're with the wrong person, the right one will not come along. So that gives you great strength as well. Just keep remembering that to yourself. Just think, this isn't my person, and cross them off your list. This isn't a person. And in a way, it's quite exciting because you're thinking, I'm getting through all these people. It's not. And eventually I'll get to the right person. And when I do, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be really, really good because I'm going to be ready then. But, sometimes we're just not ready. There's a big saying that when the student's ready, the teacher will show up. And I think that applies to relationships as well, really. When the person's ready, the other person will show up. So I know it's really tough out there. I want to give you a big virtual hug right now if you'll find it really sad, really difficult with asexual dating. I know how hard it is. I know how painful it can be. I really do feel from you from the bottom of my heart. But just know you are very strong. You can get through this. And it does make us more resilient. The more guys that talk to me that reject me, the more I get stronger. The more guys that talk to me that just stop talking to me, it makes me stronger. And it also makes me less likely to go jumping in head first to a relationship like I used to do, because I know guys can just disappear like that at the drop of a hat. So I know until I've known a guy for like 18 months, 2 years or whatever, there's no chance of actually being in a relationship with them anyway. Not realistically, because it's not safe to do that. It's not safe because you don't know the person. You really don't know them. So I would say, make sure you do all these things. Think about, all the positives about being single. Know that your strength comes from these trying times, comes through these sad times and pain. And that wherever there's dark, there's light. There'll always be light. So there's always opportunity and chance and hope that you'll meet the right person if you're not with the wrong person. If you're with the wrong person, it can make your life living hell, I tell you. I'd rather stay single forever than get the wrong person for me. Asexual soulmate, Indian guy or not, I don't care. If I don't meet this guy, then I'm going to be single forever probably. Because I'd rather stay single forever than meet the wrong person. I mean, if it happens to be someone who's not Indian and I really believe he's the right person for me, then so be it. But, I think you have to trust your own instincts in life. If my instincts say Indian guy, then I'd go with that, unless it's a guy that looks Indian, like a Sri Lankan guy or something like that, because that can happen as well. Sometimes my intuition can be slightly off and it can be someone who looks Indian, but I'm pretty certain it's Indian actually. But, you know what I mean? I don't think I'll be happy until I find the right Indian guy for me. But, that's my story. That's not your story. What is your story? What type of person would you ideally like? Want someone on one of the dating sites, they said to me, oh, do you mind me asking you why you're so specific in what type of relationship you're looking for? And I'm like, because I know what I want. And in order to be compatible with the person, it's very important we be specific about what we want. Because otherwise we could get with the wrong person and make ourselves miserable. So don't listen to people that go, oh, you're too specific. You have to be very specific. If you know what you want, and you should come to a point in your life when you know yourself very, very super well, right? If you know what you like, what you want and what you don't want, it's much better to be very specific. Maybe you won't get exactly what you want, but you'll get nearer to it. If you just be wide, you'll get all rubbish come in there. People that are totally unsuitable. If I don't sell like younger guys in their 20s, guess what I'm going to get? Guys in their 50s or older coming to talk to me. 40s, maybe, but mostly probably 50. I'm going to get older guys come after me. I mean, I'll probably still get younger guys. I always do anyway. But, you're more likely to get the older guys. I specify that I'm looking for a guy in his 20s, right? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be with an older guy. It would just creep me out. Not because older guys are actually creepy per se, just because I don't feel that way about old guys. I don't want kids of my own. I've never wanted them. I don't think of myself as motherly age. I don't think of myself as parent age. I don't think of myself as that age. Well, I'm not that age group. I'm not in my 50s. I'm much younger than that. Much, much younger. But you know what I'm saying? It would be like, even a guy in his 40s, it'd usually be like dating my dad, not literally, but you know what I'm saying? It's just too old for me. Obviously, I've got to find a younger guy who does like an older girl. But for me, I'm an older girl that likes a younger guy, older in birth not in personality and lifestyle, mindset and lifestyle. Personality really, so it's very important we be very specific. Like, I don't want someone who smokes. I can't kiss a smoker. If you watch this channel for a while now, you'll know that the person I kissed who was smoking, I got a respiratory infection from for 7 weeks. So it doesn't matter how good looking the guy is, I can't be in a relationship long term with a smoker, or short term, or any term now. I can't be with someone who smokes, you know? So it's very, very, very important that you are very specific. If you don't want kids, be honest about that from the beginning. If you don't want marriage, be honest about that. Make it easy on yourself to be able to walk away earlier than later. Tell someone up front you're asexual. If you're speaking to other asexuals, make it perfectly clear what you're looking for in a relationship and what you're not. Don't let it go on and on as what if this, what if that, what if this. I mean, there might still be some of that. I mean, I still have it, you know, in my head, because I like Indian guys. I still have it in my head. Well, what if this? And it's crazy. It's like, no, Sandra, the guy you've just met wants to go, you know, all around the world. They want to stay in the country they're staying in, and they smoke. So they're clearly the wrong guy for you, right? But you know, in my romantic craziness, it does, you know, it does like play on my mind. But that's just how I've been programmed and conditioned. You know, a problem is a lot of the time we're programmed and conditioned from television, movies, you know, and novels to like have all this kind of romance and passion. You can have passion, but you know, like all this romance, and you can have romance too, but we're conditioned to believe relationships are meant to be a certain way, and we're conditioned kind of into the mentality of what if this, what if that, you know, because a lot of stories are based on the, like, you know, like kind of tension between two people, you know, like these people get together and then they fall out and then they get back together, and it's that kind of chemistry and tension. It's kind of that feeling of, oh yeah, oh right, well, it didn't work out, but what if it did? And it's kind of like, and sometimes in a lot of stories you've got two people who clearly fancy each other, and it's always what if this, what if that. And this conditioning is instilled in us from a very early age, you know, and it's like the guy and the girl should be together. I mean, they infuriate you, those type of movies where the guy and the girl should always be together? You think, because you like want to scream at the screen, like, why aren't you together? You're clearly right for each other, right? But that kind of thing in movies always is, what if they got together? What if they just told each other how they feel about each other? What if they just said, I really love you and want to spend the rest of my life with you in a relationship? What if they did that? And you kind of just want it to happen so badly. And I think what happens is all that translates into when you meet a new person. And also there's a lot of chemical reactions going off in your body. So even though I'm asexual, I don't want sex, I don't experience sexual attraction, I still have the hormones in my body. I still have the chemical feel good things going off that say, hey, you know, oh man, we're getting on so well. Conversation's flowing. It just feels so good. When you have that type of friendship, or when you have that type of connection straight away, you kind of draw more to each other and you feel more comfortable around each other, and it feels familiar. That familiarity can then lead to you thinking they're your soulmate or they're your person. But it can often be a red herring because you don't know them. They've just come into your life. And, you know, this is why we've got to try and stop ourselves from falling in love or falling for someone too quickly, because we don't know them. Even if they may seem really nice, we don't know them. And we have to keep level-headed and strong. And the number one reason why we have to stay strong is for ourselves, to protect ourselves, to be a better person for ourselves, to get through things that come up in life, to be more resilient to things that we don't know is even going to happen to us yet or in the future. When you go through struggles and heartaches and pain, it does actually make you stronger than someone who just has an easy life and doesn't really have any of that. Most people don't have an easy life, right? Most people struggle. But, you know, there's people that struggle, I think, more sometimes in life than others. But I think it's the people that struggle more sometimes that are better equipped to handle rejection, adversity. The people that live in fear, the ones that aren't trying to date, the ones that are not even approaching people for fear of rejection, you know, those are the people that are actually not helping themselves. They're not building up their resilience. They're not building up their strength. They're not building up their resistance to emotional pain and upset, you know. I've got to go through this in some ways because I've got to know if I do get with a guy in a relationship again, if that's actually a big if, then I've got to still be willing to walk away from that person if they end up being the wrong person for me, however emotional I might feel towards them. for me, and I'm a very emotional girl, you know, and I find that the most difficult because I get emotionally attached to a guy quite quickly, and I don't experience any platonic attraction, which I've said a lot on this channel. So it jumps straight from just met the person to romantic feelings or aesthetic attraction, usually both, just like that. And so it's and they don't go away, these feelings. They just like there then. And that's why usually a lot of the time I don't have that many friends with guy. I'm bet, you know, I get on better with guys overall, but I don't tend to have too many close guy friends because it can be painful for a hyper romantic like me who gets easily emotionally attached. In some ways it's better just to spend time with myself. Obviously with my friends I need to spend time, very important, but you know, in terms of romance, it's better to spend time with myself and not focus on that, you know. But I mean, there's a guy in the UK who's been messaging me. We've just been chatting about hobbies. There's been no romantic stuff going on there. The two foreign guys, there was some romantic talk. With the Indian guy, there was romantic talk in the beginning, but not now. And with this other guy from Argentina, there's been romantic talk because he was the one who was talking about a date. And then with this other guy who lives in the UK, there hasn't been any romantic talk, but there's mutual shared interest, which is really good because he's into writing as well. So it's really, really nice, you know. They seem like a nice person, which is really good. They live miles away from me in the UK, though. They do still, well, I say miles away, you know, it can, I've had a person from the area still come down to my city at a meet up previously, but it's a long way, really. So, you know, I think it's very important that we maintain our integrity, we maintain our strength of character, and we look at these type of times as difficult for us, but we can get through them because we're made of tough stuff, you know? We're made of really tough stuff. Like every time I get rejected or find this isn't the right person, yes, I get upset. I have a little cry sometimes, but I'm like, it's okay. It's not my person. I have to be patient and wait for the right person to come along. You know, what my best friend, they said to me they've waited for ages for someone like me as a best friend, you know, and it was worth the wait. And I feel the same, you know, like sometimes it's worth waiting for. The best things come to those who wait, they say. I think you still have to take action as well, though. I'm not a person who believes you just don't do anything and wait for everything to fall in your lap. That's not how you need to do it. You need to still take action. Action creates momentum. It puts things in place that might lead to the person of your life, or the not even a person. It might lead to your dream career, might lead to your most amazing passion and hobby in life coming to fruition, might lead to all your dreams coming true. It might lead to just some wonderful opportunities for you, right? So if you don't take any action because you're too fearful and you hold back all the time, you're not doing yourself any favors. You know, I experience pain, I experience heartache, I experience upset, but I still keep going. I need to keep going. I need to keep pushing forward. And I just have to think every time this happens, it makes me stronger. It makes me super strong. And that's what I want you to think. And I know there's a lot of introverts in the asexual community, and I know there's a lot of people that don't want to talk. Just imagine if I had some foreign guys in the UK talking to me, and they were actually, maybe they're introverted and they're really shy and they don't know what to say, but they actually start talking to me and have a proper conversation, going backwards and forwards. Just think they might find the love of their life and might find mine. So I know I'd urge you, if you're an introvert, to put that aside, like recognize your introvertism, but realize that you can still do things that probably you would consider more extrovert, but you can still do them. I'm an extrovert with introverted tendencies. There's times when I have to be more introverted too. I can't go out all the time, especially now in the big wide world, you know, socialization, you know. But I've got some introverted tendencies because I stay at home a lot anyway. I work on websites and things like that, right? But whether you're extrovert or introvert, you can still do things that the other type would do, you know. And I didn't realize that a lot of the entrepreneurs, a lot of the high level people that are being paid to be speakers, they're actually introverted. That really shocked and surprised me. I'm like, how can people who go around the world speaking on stage be introverted? And it's because they have to push themselves out their comfort zone. They have to think that I'm helping other people, that I have to do this, you know? But you have to help yourself. If you're looking for a serious committed relationship, you have to help yourself by approaching people, including if you're female. I once got a question asked, and it was like, if you're female, should you be approaching guys. I mean, I know Eddie, who's in chat, who can't speak at the moment for some reason because YouTube's playing up, and I apologise if you tried to get through on chat, but YouTube's just saying no chat at the moment. You know, Eddie said their girl asked them out, you know? So just because you're a girl doesn't mean to say you can't approach guys and you can't approach your person. Just imagine, you know, if you're homo-romantic, you know, and you're female, you're a girl who's into girls. If neither of you approach the other one, how's that ever going to work? You know what I mean? But, you know, sometimes you just have to take a risk, you know? I tell guys who are in their 20s that they're good looking, they're handsome or beautiful, if I think that, you know? Sometimes I have to make the first move on that, even though I don't know if they'll react well, but I have to judge it. I have to judge how the conversation is going. Is it flowing in a romantic way? Are they talking to me romantically? Are they saying anything about my looks? You know, because obviously I'm an older girl, and some younger guys wouldn't be comfortable with an older girl saying stuff like that because they just look at me as having a friend. So I have to judge it. I have to say, you know, is this person liking me romantically, or are they liking me just as a friend? Like, I think the guy from the UK is just liking me as a friend. So I haven't been talking about anything to do with romance to do with him. He's on the aromantic spectrum. Not fully aromantic, but on the aromantic spectrum anyway. So I didn't expect him to be interested in a relationship with me. I think he just wants to chat, which is fine, you know. But because I know he wants to chat, and I don't see anything, I don't see him fancying me at all, I won't be going down that route. I won't be talking to him in that way. I'll be keeping it strictly kind of like friendly friend type of talk. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, I say friendly friend, but obviously we've only just met and started talking recently on there, so obviously it's not a proper friend. It's more of acquaintance friend that I just having to start talking to on there. But what I'm trying to say to you is you have to gauge the person, you know. But even if you do say they're beautiful, you have to understand that you can say someone's beautiful without them reciprocating, and that's okay. And if they talk to you again, they do. If they don't, that's fine. They're not meant to be in your life. Don't get so scared and worried that you don't take any risks in your life and you don't do anything and push your life forward, you know? Just by living, we're risking. And you must notice that now. Just living in the world, the current situation that's going on with a big V, you must know that just living is a risk. But it's always been that way. Just living is a risk. So if you fear risk, then, you know, you're just fearing being alive, basically. And some people do with anxiety. There's a genuine fear. Being alive every day is hard. I mean, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder level 4 years ago. So I know what that's like, you know. Even living on a day-to-day basis can be tough. We just think these tough times make us stronger. Every rejection we get makes us closer to people who really do care about us. Every time someone stops talking to us, we have to understand it's a problem with them, not with us. Every time someone, you know, can't make their mind up about us, we walk away and leave them to it. We don't let them have the control. If they can't make their mind up, they don't know that you're the one for them, you walk away. Let them get their shit together, as it is, and walk away. You know, it might be that you meet someone and the timing's just wrong for a relationship and you have to go away for a while. And then maybe you'll come back together later, maybe you won't. You don't hang around for that person. You go do your own thing, be your own person. You know, I don't want to get into a relationship with anyone unless I damn well know they're going to be in my city and they're suitable for me. Because I want to go out clubbing and kiss lots of foreign guys. I'm quite open about that. Because I love kissing. I don't want to be having a long distance relationship with someone I don't see for 3 years and I don't get any kissing. And they might never come over here. It's ridiculous. I'm not wasting my life like that. I'd rather go out and enjoy my life and, you know, I can't go out at the moment to a club, they're closed, but, you know, I'd rather go out and dance, and I like being the center of attention there, actually, and come alive and kiss some beautiful guys and, you know, just be beautiful me and just have a great time of my life now. I don't want to, like, wait around for someone, and you should never wait around for Mr. Right or Miss Right or non-binary, agender, transgender right, you know, the person right. You shouldn't, you know, you don't have to wait around for that person, you know. You shouldn't. You should just get on with your life. If they come into your life, they do. If they don't, now I might be better off staying single for the rest of my life. I'm very good as a single unit. I get relationship anxiety, so it's very actually difficult for me to be in a relationship with anyone, you know. So, you know, by not being in a relationship, it's actually saving myself a lot of anxiety in that way. And if you do have anxiety, you know, there's enough anxiety going on without having the relationship anxiety added onto it as well. So I think it's very important to recognize the good things about being single, the good things about not being in a relationship. And you need to be very, very, very proud of yourself for staying strong and realizing that you are maintaining your integrity, you're maintaining your own self-worth by not getting with the wrong person. And if you're a person watching this now and you know that someone's not right for you in a relationship with, yet you're just putting up with them, don't. Walk away. It is better to be single and happy than with a person who you can't make happy and they can't make you happy. You know? I know some asexuals are like, oh, well, I can't find anyone in my city. But I can't find the one I want, but there's someone here, so I'll just have them. And I'm like, no, you've got to be prepared to either move or find a mover. And you might have to change on that. Like, I'm a non-mover because I love where I live. Everything's good in my life at the moment. Yeah, I don't have my soulmate, but everything else is great, you know? Everything else is amazing. And I love living here and I love my life so much. So there's absolutely no way I'm moving. But in years to come, I always have the power to change my mind if I feel like it. We all have the power to change my mind. I'm adamant that I'm not going to move. But we must always remember that's our choice. It's my choice. If I stay here forever, it might be that I don't meet someone for a relationship if I always stay here. But maybe that's still the best thing for me. Do you see what I'm saying? But I know some people, I've met them on asexual dating sites, and all they're doing is like, oh, well, you know, I can't find anyone, I can't find any asexual. And sometimes I'll be with a sexual person just because they can't find an asexual person. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, we I know one guy, I think he was together off and on with this woman because it was like, or off and on with, no. I think he was like, he saw someone in his city, that's right, not the same person. He was in a relationship and then he stopped being it because the person was too sexual. Then he got in a relationship with someone, other woman, and she was too sexual. But he didn't want to know about other people in other cities because he wanted someone specifically in that city, even if it was a sexual person, because he didn't want to have to travel. I mean, I don't mind if I got the finances to do a bit of traveling with my own country. It's not practical. Obviously, I can't at the moment because of social distancing, but, you know, in more normal circumstances, but I'm not in that position anyway at the moment, which is why I need to focus on my career anyway. So this is why you've got to realise that everything happens for a reason, that even if our heart pulls our, you know, things pull out our heartstrings, you know, we have to understand that it's just not meant to be at the moment. Maybe you need to move first. Maybe you need to go somewhere and meet this person first. Maybe you need to learn some new skills. Maybe you need to change careers. Maybe there's a friend who can introduce you to another friend. You know, anything's possible. Just think there are thousands of people out there in the world. So there's going to be at least one person for you. Thousands of people, including thousands of asexuals. I wish more of them were a bit more talkative and hold conversations. That would be helpful. You know what I'm talking about. But I think someone who's really serious about finding a relationship, really serious, does put their heart and soul into it as much as possible, but whilst maintaining their own life and integrity. You know, the thing is, if you're not got to put so much of your own soul, time, energy, effort into it that you neglect other aspects of your life, you got to look after other things in your life. You know, your home, your friendships, your relationships with other people, your soul, your spirituality, your goals, ambitions, and dreams. Because if a relationship's not forthcoming, you have to put that on the back burner. And like I am not actively going to look for guys like I was before. You know, like these two. I think all these guys have approached me. Let's have a look. I know two of them have. So that guy approached me first. I approached this person first. So two people approached me first, and I approached the other one first. So yeah. So this guy's messaged me back actually. So Yeah, I'll have to look at what he says, because he's trying to say about where he's coming to in the UK. So we'll see if he's actually true. So you've got to learn to take these things with a pinch of salt and see where they go. But anyway, I'm gonna love you and leave you for now. Do stay strong. Do know that your heart is beautiful. That just because you're not in a relationship doesn't mean to say that you're not worthy, because you're very worthy. In fact, you're more stronger to be here in life as a single unit. You're more self-reliant, self-controlled. You're more stronger and amazing on your own, because you have to take care of yourself. You know, it's very difficult taking care of yourself. If you're a solo unit like me, looking after yourself financially as well, it's very hard, but it's very admirable. It's very respectable. It's very beautiful. It's very courageous. Just know that you're courageous, Ace, and I love you very much indeed. I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful in some way. I hope you have. And yeah, if you've got ASAP, you've had the new updates. How are they panning out for you? Are they working for you? Do you find that a new way that ASAP is laid out good? Do you find it better? Are you getting more matches? Because like I said, I seem to be getting more of the type of people that I'm interested in now, which I wasn't so much before. So you know, do give your feedback on that as well. If you've got any ways that you like to stay strong when you're single, please pop them down below in the comments after this video is finished processing. And I'll see you on the next video live stream. Hopefully the chat will come back again in the next one. I'm sorry for the technical problems that YouTube seem to be going through at the moment, but it's all good. Remember, everything happens for a reason. So until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. I'll see you on the next video live stream. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that great big bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. Stay strong and always be beautiful, Ace you. Love you lots. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Bye.